Good morning, this is Steve O'Hare from Signal Centre. Today is our Talking Bull number 449. It's Friday, the 28th of August, and I'm hosting alone, and Joe will be back on Monday. Hooray! I hear you all shout and chant. Let's take a look at the market highlights. This is courtesy of Morning IG Call. A largely mixed session overnight saw strength in China and Hong Kong, counteracted by Australian and Japanese weaknesses. Nonetheless, we saw a few big moves as traders instead wait for Jackson Hole Symposium to guide sentiment. Data released in the Asian session saw Tokyo core CPI tick up, and while Australian retail sales fell to a 13-month low of down 2.7%. All eyes are on Jerome Powell's virtual Jackson Hole appearance, with US markets snapping their 5-day winning streak as uncertainty led to some profit taking. The question is around how far Powell and his FOMC colleagues might go to laying out the timing and size of tapering. Most believe it will take place this year, and thus a failure to provide a tapering blueprint today simply pushes or turns our attention to September FOMC meeting. Elsewhere, keep an eye out for core core PCE, inflation, and US personal spending data. We had a little bit of risk appetite, was slightly more fragile also on the hawkish comments from the Fed officials, but they were non-voting Fed officials. And obviously the security concerns in Afghanistan, which saw multiple explosions at the airport yesterday. So we'll dive straight into the charts. Let's take a look. We'll go through FX first. We'll take a look at the dollar index. So we can see sort of dollar index overnight has pulled lower. We've retraced, almost looking like a bit like a head and shoulders formation. However, I do believe that dollar will survive this, mainly based on the strength of dollar yen. Really, that seems to be. I know we've got yen weakness, but dollar yen for me is the one that is really interesting. On a 4-hour chart, Ichimoku cloud, we've broken below it, a little bit of a sell signal up here. Price action has moved sideways since then. We've got resistance now between 93.10 and 93.35. So really need to see a break back above the 93.20 area to sort of put this pressure back on the long side of things on the dollar index. So it is under pressure. Euro dollar, we've seen price action overnight get to, that was yesterday, 117.79 from the rally really from 116.64. So looking pretty positive on the euro dollar front. Again, we get this inverse head and shoulders, which is the opposite to what we're seeing on the dollar index, and that's looking pretty positive really. A break of above 118.05 is required, and support coming in at 117.35, but really need a clear break of 116.64 for euro dollar to look bearish. We've got this trend line coming in, which looks pretty nice. Today we're looking at 118.53 for that. On the cable side of things, we've seen a retracement. We broke through the cloud, couldn't hold on to the gains, and we've had a pullback overnight. 137.68 is where we got, up to 136.80 is where we swung down to overnight, but we've seen positive price action since then. Take a look at the daily chart. We can see we've had 6-7 hours of positive price action, and it's moving to retest the resistance levels 137.47, but obviously the ATR levels coming in around about 137.60. Really looking to fade into that sort of area, and then the dollar sort of like to improve gradually, we think. Dollar yen, again, sort of it really feels supported to me, the dollar yen. It didn't have a great week last week, but it's improved this week. We've got trend line resistance on the daily chart coming in. Now we've got it today. We've got it coming in at 110.41. and obviously we've got this really short-term supporting trend line that comes in now at 105.60. So a bit mid-range on dollar yen. Again, we're looking to buy dips in it really overall for further upside. Taking a look at Aussie dollar now. 3 weeks of negative price action after the shooting star candle stroke doji was formed. However, we have recovered this week and we're looking like an overnight recovery overnight as well from 72.22. That's not too bad, but we have run into resistance around the cloud, and this impulsive move higher has stalled. A little bit of a correction, potential for a further upside, but looking really to run into resistance around about 73.16, trading 72.54 as we speak. So a break of the 72.80 level should lead to another 30-point move higher. Let's take a look at cryptos now, see how the Bitcoin is getting on. Really struggling with this 50,000 level. It's turning into a bit of a psychological level as well. You'll have the ultra longs out there who will just keep hold of Bitcoin till the day it dies, or till the day they can't sort of like they'll be taking profit to avoid income tax, I'm sure. So yeah, that's looking pretty positive. That's a monthly chart on Bitcoin, 65,000. Obviously, we formed this evening doji star formation. We saw the big sell-off down to 28,800, and the recovery just above 50,000 we've got to, and it's run into a bit of a brick wall. Even on the daily chart, there's the cloud showing us the cloud. We're way above the support. This looks a bit nicer to look at. The break above the 41,800 level, really that's where support comes in. There'll be intermediate support around about 44,000, but price action really has formed a bit of a top evening doji shooting star formation. And again, yesterday was a bearish outside candle, so bearish engulfing, try to recover, bearish outside candle, so it's getting smacked back down. If we see a break below 46,300 a day, I imagine we're going to target the 44,000 level. So on a bit of the back foot, the 4-hour chart has broken through the cloud support, but it has gone sideways since then. So really waiting for the next move or the next crumb of data. Moving on to commodities. Let's take a look at if it's going to let us. It's not going to let us, is it? Is this my internet stalling? Let me just check my other platforms, see if I can get any prices coming through. Yeah, getting nice prices coming through for that. Let me refresh this. Oh, are we back? Are we back? Start your free trial. No thanks, I'm paying you enough. See, minor disaster. Trading view charts are down. We can use other charts, can't we? Let's take a look at there are all the intraday trade ideas we've got running. Let's take a look at the charts. We can always rely on IG markets to save the day. So just get my head around this, and we were looking at commodities. So let's take a look at commodities on this. So on this, we've got two charts. On the left, we've got the daily chart. Let me just expand it a bit more so it's a little bit more interesting. Daily chart on the left, and we've got the hourly chart on the right, and you can see I use the cloud on here as well. We've got some moving average lines also in there. So let's take a look at crude oil. we can see the positive price action has continued, but it is going to run into resistance around about 69.50. I was looking at news sentiment earlier as well, and that seems to be stalling. That news sentiment seems to be negative while the price is moving higher. So for me, that's a bit of divergence, and I think price will fail. You heard it here first. Obviously, we've got that on the monthly chart. We've got, see if we can get a monthly on here. That would be interesting. Yeah, you can see the same formation I've been highlighting on the trading view charts. This monthly evening doji star formation. Price action is trying to recapture ground. We've only got till Tuesday to really get back up and not confirm the evening doji star formation. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. On the 4-hour chart, again, we're above the EMAs. I've got an 8, 20 and 100 EMA on there. There's a crossover there, the 20 crossing over the 100, so that's positive. So short term, it does look like it has got a little bit more, although the momentum, the MACD, showing signs of negativity on the oil chart. So still a little bit of a play out there. The escalation in tension in Afghanistan won't help matters. But really, I think this is a bit of a dead cat bounce for me on oil. I still think we've got a little bit more on the downside to retest before we start to look at higher prices. Let's take a look at gold. We're toying with the 1800 level in gold. You can see that price action has used this as quite a pivotal level. When we broke up through it, we had good volatility and a move up to 1810, which failed. We broke back down below, and we even got a move $20 below, got down to 1780. Since then, we've had a decent short-term impulsive move higher, which has cleared out the 1800 level quite easily. So bearish engulfing candle on the hourly chart, but the 1800 level is sitting here with a lot of trend lines and supportive lines coming in, and also we've got the cloud below now. We're correcting from this stochastic, this overbought stochastic, and looking to move a little bit lower, but still potential for some upside on there. Gun to head, I'm sort of considering that. Let's take a look at the indices now. DAX yesterday, bearish outside candle on the 25th. That had follow through as well. Didn't quite get down to the 15,621, which was the swing low from the 19th last Thursday. And we've off to a bit of a better start this morning. You can see price action from the early hours. Price action has pushed upwards. We're running into cloud resistance here, so a little bit of a way to go before we finish that off. Also, that's on the DAX side of things. Also on the FTSE, really sort of slightly positive, but only just mixed but positive price action, with closes generally going higher, although they're looking like topping formations, and we're seeing the stochastics turn lower as well. So potential for a reversal in this corrective move lower is the favored route. 71.52, get a break above there, and we could target the 72.25. However, more likely to see a breakdown in this with a break below 7100, leading to maybe a retest of the 7000 area. Even look at CAC if you want. CAC, the initial formation for me looks like a bit of a bearish flag. Let's see if we can draw that on here. Look at that. Nice bearish flag, could lead to a move lower. The measured move target for that would be from the top 69.12 to the low 65.53. So that would open up a move down to about 400 points lower. So that's quite a nice thing to be keeping an eye on. That's on the CAC. Wall Street this afternoon, we had a bearish outside candle formed yesterday. Let's get these pivot levels off. Looks a bit messy. Stalled at 35,500 again. Hit the low 35,202, and we took that out overnight, but have rebounded higher. So we've had this initial sell-off. The correction higher looks to have stalled around about 35,350. So really keen to see where this goes from here. The pivot level today on the charts 35,315. So we're playing with that now. This nice spike higher. If it fails, then maybe that opens up another move to the downside. Next support coming in around about 35,100 on the Dow. Nasdaq has again pushed higher, but we have formed that evening doji star formation, trying to fight back a little bit today. Again, in a similar way to the Dow, we found support now at 15,300. Resistance looking at 15,340. Oh, this is a 5-minute chart. We're not doing that. We're not that desperate, are we? So short term, it's a little bit of sideways congestion and a little bit of support here, but we're below the cloud on the hourly chart. Let's have a look at the 4-hour chart to get a bit more depth on it. Yeah, looking positive on the 4-hour chart, but really 15,260 is the we could see further negative price action below there, but obviously Nasdaq, as ever, targeting the all-time highs 15,400. It's not very far away. We've covered everything. Let's talk about the gun to head challenge now, and let me bring up my chart from yesterday, which was disappointing to say the least. I wasn't too convinced yesterday when I was going for the dollar yen trade. I went long a dollar yen, had quite a tight stop that was taken out, and price action since then hasn't really done a lot more. What is my favorite one today? I would like to, if anything, look to maybe fade these indices. We've got Jackson Hole later. That could throw up, well, that'll definitely increase the volatility, especially if he doesn't say something we're expecting. From the commodity side of things, gold has just stalled at this 1805 level. So let's take a quick short in gold. I'm still overall mildly negative on that. We're looking to sell gold here. I'll pop it in here as we can't do the same old we can't draw that little diagram that we like to draw in trading view charts, which has let us down this morning. Oh, select it. So we're selling gold at 17.99. My stop in gold will be at 18. Why don't we have it 18.11? Yeah, let's do it 18.11. That's just above the swing high, the 18.10 level we got up to, obviously here. So we'd need to make a new high on a weekly basis to take me out of this trade. That's 12 points on there. And let's go for a 3-to-1 risk reward, maybe 36. 63, 1763 will be the target. So I'm going for a 3-to-1 risk reward on that. Selling gold at the current price. That's because there's a gun to my head, and that's the gun to head challenge. So take a look at the rest of the day, again, courtesy of IG Morning Call. We've got US personal income spending for July, income to rise 0.2%. That's a prediction, and spending to rise 0.5%. Powell's speech at 3 p.m. That's the Jackson Hole Symposium that starts today, carries on tomorrow. The text will be released at 2 p.m. So the markets to watch, really, US indices, US dollar crosses, and everything affected by the dollar, especially gold. So hopefully my gun to head trade idea plays out. And I wish you all the best. I hope be very careful this afternoon, and look forward to joining you on Monday when Joe is back in town to save the day. Thanks very much.